And maybe there's the aspect where you can see your home, as this tabernacle, as this place where
Mm,
God dwells. And when people come in, you design it, you make it aesthetically pleasing so that people see him, that he's the one who dwells in this place, that he's the Lord over this house.
yeah,
See,
that's cool. Yeah, I haven't thought about it in that way. I like that a lot, and I think you can take kind of a leaf out of the Bible and recognize too that with the tabernacle, it was a lot of symbolism. So if you're someone who doesn't really like plaques with verses on them or those kind of things, for whatever reason, that's just not your style, or you just you're just not a fan of that for some reason. I think you could use more shapes and symbols to represent Christ, and to be able to kind of start the conversation with others, especially if it's kind of this unique thing. It's like having a weird tattoo. People are going to ask you about it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe even with that in mind, like design your space, your home, or the interior of your home, with that in mind, thinking, okay, how can I bring people to Christ? How can I introduce the Lord to them through the art on my walls, or maybe my furniture, or I don't know, get creative with it.
yeah. Yeah, totally. It doesn't have to be like a cross on every wall or,
Right.
Hobby Lobby type,
Yeah. Yeah.
verses on your wall or something. It can be non-explicitly Christian, but you have a purpose behind it. You have this design behind it. And that's, in the tabernacle, they didn't have they didn't have like verses hanging up necessarily.
Right. There were no words. Yeah. So yeah, if you like that, great, go for it. But also don't feel like you have to be a good Christian. Like that's, I think sometimes maybe people might get that impression because they come to, I could see someone, going over to someone's house who, that family just really loves the Lord, and their house is kind of filled with, those kind of verses. And they're like, oh, okay, that's what being a Christian means. I got to do that. But no, I think, feel the freedom to be creative with it. And it doesn't have to look any one specific way. Something cool with the tabernacle too, especially, and with the temple, is there's a lot of nature described in the design of it, like pomegranates, I remember specifically, all kinds of fruit, and of course animals as well. So there's also a place for using that as a symbol. Maybe you could even have like some kind of decorative thing of pomegranates, and then someone asks you about it because it's a really interesting piece, and you go, well, actually, in the Bible, the tabernacle was designed, and then they go, what's a tabernacle? And then, I don't know. It doesn't have to be that explicit again either, but.
Right. Yeah, and there's this aspect about the tabernacle where the space was designed to teach something about who God was as well.
That's true.
You have the visions of holy place, the most holy place.
Right. And the curtain, the veil between.
Yeah. Yeah. And, there's probably an aspect where you can do that in your home somehow, like teach about space. I don't know how to do it, but, thinking creatively, like teach about space that teaches something about God.
Basically treating your home as a prayer garden.
Mm.
Because, a lot of Christians probably have experienced, not all, but maybe a lot have experienced some kind of prayer garden or meditation garden, or some kind of event where maybe their church has put on something where you walk through different spaces, and, there'll be some kind of display or this or that. So obviously not that explicit, again, because it's your home. It's not like a museum, but that would be kind of fascinating, like a good experiment how to design the spaces of your home or your yard as well, to reflect Christ and our relationship with him.